Tsoanelo, one of the themes that have been around in the property sector for quite some time is office to residential conversions. How long have they been around and what exactly are they?
Office to residential conversions have been, as you say, have been around for a while. We've seen it in the historic, in the CBDs, where all the big corporates have moved out of the CBDs, creating a glut of office space, and that has been an opportunity for developers to come in and change the kind of the fabric of the CBD to introduce more residential. So these buildings that lent themselves in the past for conversions, either to residential or student accommodation. So that's a theme that's been around for a while, and it's now starting to kick up a bit more now.
And why do we think that there has been a market for this? If corporates are moving out of their head offices into new places, how is that not being taken up by more office space? Why is it being converted to residential?
I think housing is always a big need in South Africa, and where people can be closer to work opportunities, it always creates a new avenue for new types of developments. So seeing that in the market, I think that's what developers have come in and done, and taken up that vacant space and created these office to residential conversions, which we're seeing in the market, with a bit of a resurgence in the market at the moment.
So it's quite an opportunistic outlook from some developers out there. It's a departure from a new build residential high-rise to actually identifying a property that with the right attributes that can actually work for an office residential conversion. What type of people and developers are actually looking at these? Is it any residential developer, or is it quite a specialized field at the moment?
100%. So it is quite opportunistic, but over time, I think what you're going to start seeing is office to residential specialist developers that have an understanding of what is required to make a successful redevelopment work. Success is in the structure in the sense that the building needs to make sense, and having a funding partner alongside you that can understand the space, understands the requirements, understands the market is going to be very important. I think over time it's been very opportunistic, haphazard, but if you look at the move from the CBD of Johannesburg, particularly into Randburg, into Sandton CBD, into Sunninghill, a lot of these are more suburbs where you think about residential and not so much about office. I think that's what happened, where you had offices that were probably placed in the wrong place. We've recently done a development in Athol, where one of our clients identified a building that was set right in the middle of a residential environment, and they've gone in and changed it and created something really suitable for that environment. So you're going to see a lot of that, where guys with a good eye are going to go in and really change the structure of the kind of the suburbs.
Do we think that this trend has been accelerated at all by the impact of COVID-19 and the work from home? I mean, not wanting to sound cliche, but there is always these question marks now around how these trends are going to evolve over time. Are they structural? What's your view on that?
So it's a question I've been asking myself a lot as well. What is the future of this market? Is it going to be a flash in the pan type of exercise, or is it going to be sustainable? I think there is definitely a future. Work from home has accelerated it, but I think things will settle down over the next few years.
And if you had to think kind of like your key attributes that a building would need in order to become a successful development in the space, is there anything particular, or what's your thoughts on that?
So from a technical perspective, it's all around the floor plate of the building. You don't want to have buildings that are too deep or too narrow, and that's why these older buildings that have been built in the CBDs have actually lent themselves to that. It's all around efficiency of the structure, and that's why these opportunities, you really need a good eye to understand what is going to be a successful project, and by having a partner alongside you that also understands this is quite important, and from a developer's perspective, so that they can create synergies towards identifying these opportunities and executing on these opportunities.
Sounds like an architect's delight, coming in and designing and making sure you're getting natural light in all the right places, using an existing structure that's maybe a bit dated and trying to now, make it your own and bringing in that residential flavor, because I think from what we've seen, you can also get it wrong, definitely, if you're not getting, the right mix and feel into the building. You don't want to be walking into your home feeling like it is an office building. You want to feel like you're in a place that you want to enjoy and live in.
It's definitely an art, but ultimately, you still need to finance these opportunities, and it's that dance between the developer and the finance, and creating kind of a synergy between the parties. And that's definitely why you need a trusted advisor alongside you to execute on these opportunities.